What is up, guys? It is Lifted, and in today's video we got another episode of Cracked, and this will be basically the grand finale to our sub-series where we are following up on submission 13, showing you guys all the cards we were able to upgrade. And yeah, so we're starting it off with the Beat of the Frontier Rayquaza, a really nice card, but we got a bunch today, so we'll just have to jump right in. The Japanese Rayquaza Level X from Beat of the Frontier, first edition. And I was sad. Beckett gave this a 9.5. Or no, it didn't. Beckett gave it a 9. Yeah, they really dock you on very small, insignificant things, but if they can find it, no matter how hard to find the flaw might be, they'll get you for it. So, PSA, will they do me as dirty as Beckett did? Oh, we did it! And we're starting it off hot. We got a really nice card there, but now we got a shiny Rayquaza. And a Rayquaza that was 0.5 away from pristine. So, pretty disappointing. And in hindsight, this might be a type of card that I would resubmit to Beckett because, you know, the significance of getting a pristine 10 or a black label potentially would have done great for the value, but it was also just so close that, I don't know, that might have been something I would do in the future, but we're sending it back to PSA here, and I'm not going to complain about the result. This card, I think this is the Nobunga or something promo. This one was previously graded a Beckett 9.5, but it had 3 10 subgrades, and I was just so upset that this didn't get a black label. It didn't even get pristine because they gave the centering a 9 subgrade, and the centering almost looks perfect. So it better get a PSA 10 or I'm fucking chucking this thing. Oh, thank God. And up next, we got a PSA card. So we got a little bit of both today. And for the PSA card, it'd be that Special Delivery Pikachu, a pretty hyped up card. And out of the 3 we submitted, we got a 9 and a 10. But I was surprised when this got an 8 because I actually thought this was one of the stronger copies. So we're just going to go ahead and take another chance. It's probably better off raw anyway if I did have it in an 8. So maybe we'll take one more shot at it. It looks pretty good. Nothing wrong with the back, though there are maybe very slight print lines. So, yeah, just got to be really careful. I like putting the sleeve on top before I flip it over just to be extra safe. And believe it or not, this was formerly a PSA 8. But I cracked it out. There's no flaws on the back. There's like a couple print lines on the hollow. But it did get a 9. And we're back with another Beckett slab, and it's the Charizard from Shiny Star V. Unfortunately, it got that silver label, and with that many weak subgrades, this is definitely not a card that I would reattempt with Beckett. The other card, you know, was 0.5 away from pristine and might even still fetch a black label, but in this case, this is too far off. And if it was best case scenario going to get a 9.5, then you're much better off sending it to PSA. Under intense magnification, Beckett's able to actually find some of these really insignificant flaws, but for a card that looks this nice, you know, I figured it would pass PSA's eye appeal test and should get the 10. Up next, we got more. So this was one that I cracked as well. This was a Beckett 9. And the print line was somewhere on here if I can even find it, but it is so insignificant. I figured the PSAs would give us a 10. And they did. All right. And if we got the V, I might as well go for the V Max too. We got the 9.5 this time, but I was looking at the case and the label was super misaligned. A bunch of the cards from that submission, unfortunately, had a weird label placement. And I've even seen like labels sliding around on high-end cards or black labels. So a bit disappointed with some of their quality control. So in a way, that was kind of the nail in the coffin on whether or not I was going to crack these. The value difference isn't too significant going from a 9.5 to a 10 at PSA, but it should be a pretty easy crossover. This one actually got a 9.5 at Beckett, but I'd rather have PSA 10s. Hard to sell Beckett cards too, not gonna lie. Haven't had any sales, even though I have a few pretty nice black labels on the store. But anyway, PSA 10. Hell yeah. So another sequential PSA 10, and these two were Beckett 9 and 9.5, so much more happy with 2 10s at PSA than 9s and 9.5s at Beckett. And for our next card, we're making it rain for some good luck, and for the reveal, it's that Charizard from Shiny Treasures. Really nice card, but unfortunately it did not get pristine, so it would be better off at PSA. And I submitted this to Beckett mostly because the set was so new at the time, and with it being a new card, it could have performed very well if it got a pristine grade or black label. So unfortunate for that, but I guess it'll go into my personal collection if I can get the PSA 10 for my set, so can't complain. Okay, so the first card we cracked. This was a Beckett 9.5. And I don't really care for 9.5s. I wanted to attempt the pristine, but it didn't get it. So here we are, and PSA 10. So a little better than a Beckett 9.5, and what a nice card. Oh man, very happy about this one. And 54 and 53, we got the sequential. And last but not least, we got a banger here, and it's the Hidden Fates Charizard. So unfortunately, it got an 8, and if you can tell from what I'm pointing at, the centering is pretty bad. Like the toes and tail of the Charizard are almost poking off the card. But I'm not going for a 10 here. It got an 8, so considering the centering and the fact that there's no flaws on the back, it can go past 60-40 because I'm going for the 9, so I think it is doable. I've seen cards that look like that, so shouldn't be too bad. And we pulled it ourselves, so we want a good grade. And this one, I'm a little worried about. So this previously graded a PSA 8, and you can tell right away that the centering is not too hot. So it's not horrible, but the top edge is definitely pretty hefty. So if we get a 9, we'll be very happy. Oh, we actually got it. Oh, shit. I have seen a few 9s with this kind of centering, so I was really hoping I wouldn't have to crack this out or sell it raw. And there you have it, guys. An overwhelming success. And every card we showcased today was successfully upgraded. And almost all the cards we regraded in general went up, too. So that's great news. And probably the biggest takeaway from today's video would be if you got a 9.5 that's 0.5 away from that pristine grade, I would take the chance and send it back to Beckett, because if you get that pristine or black label, it could go a long way. And even if you got a lower grade that's like a 9 or so, PSA might still give it a 10, because they grade according to eye appeal, and if those flaws are very hard to spot, then you might get lucky. So yeah, be careful. I mean, cracking these PSA cards, they might be easier to get through, but you got to be extra careful. It's a delicate process, and you don't want to scratch your card. Meanwhile, when you're cracking Beckett cards, it takes a stronger hand. You got to be more patient. Don't hurt yourself, but it is a safer process because you do have that extra sleeve on the inside as an added layer of protection. Hopefully you guys found this useful, and that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I got more cards coming to the eBay. I might do a trade night or live show soon, so stick around. Subscribe if you're new. It's been lifted, and I'll catch you next time, and I'm out of here. Peace.